Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. I want to wish everyone a very happy new moon. We are doing the daily reading for Saturday, March 13th, 2021, and today is a day that's ruled by the heart chakra and guided by universal water. And it is a very powerful day with this new moon upon us. I highly recommend that everyone check out the new moon video. There was some really powerful messages that came through in that video. I also invite anyone who's interested to join us for the new moon manifesting ceremony tonight. Myself and a few other people put that on together. It's really, really powerful. We do some activations. We do some downloads. We do a really powerful Theta healing manifestation ritual. I go over all of the astrology. If you guys haven't heard enough about that already, it's a really, really great time. We set up sacred space. There is just beautiful singing and celebrating, and it's really, really powerful when we all bring our energy together to create and manifest together. And so the links for that are in the new moon video in the description box for the new moon video. And I may link the new moon video again down below for you guys to make it easier to find if you haven't checked that out yet. But I do invite you to check that out with us. There's a link in the new moon video description to the Facebook event page. Also just to the payment information. It's a $10 donation. Send your email with your donation so that we can get that Zoom link out to you. You will receive that Zoom link at some point today after you have made your donation. All right. I think that's it for housekeeping notes. So let's get into this energy today. We're not going to go over this astrology a terrible lot because it's all in that new moon video. We've been building up to it all week. If anything comes up, I'll of course discuss it, but definitely check that out if you want to know more about the astrology. We are going to talk about the galactic signature today, which is the red spectral moon energy, which is absolutely perfect when we are talking about a new moon, right? And as we get into this energy, you guys are going to see how absolutely perfect it really is. All right. So the red moon energy is all about purification, universal water, and flow. And the spectral tone is all about dissolving, releasing, and liberation. And so today we're really being guided, right? And with this new moon in the sign of Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, who is known as the great dissolver, right? This spectral tone of dissolving, releasing, and liberation is so powerful and so perfect. We're being asked to surrender to the flow today, to surrender to the flow of our emotions, to surrender to the flow of our lives, not to fight against the current, to be changeable, to be adaptable, to be malleable, right? These are all characteristics of water. We're being asked to cleanse and purify our vessel today, to dissolve anything that is no longer working, that is standing in the way of us connecting to the truth of who we are. That's what, above all else, this red moon energy is all about, is us remembering who we truly are and allowing whatever stands in the way of that, these outdated thought patterns, these outdated beliefs, these outdated stories, all the stuff that we've been talking about, right? Allowing that to dissolve so that we can become closer to the truth of our identity as souls. And just really working with water today and using it to purify our vessels. This is a great day for a salt bath or a foot soak with all that Pisces energy, which does rule the feet. So just utilizing that, imagining that water coming through, cleansing and purifying. Today is a day where we can utilize that rainbow meditation too. So it could be imagine rainbow water coming through. I think that would be really, really beautiful. And then you have access to all those different tones, right? And water reflects, right? So it can contain any type of color. It reflects the colors that it is exposed to, which is really, it was quite a revelation for me when I realized, I think it was just this past fall, all of a sudden that water doesn't actually have a color. It's just reflecting whatever it's around. This is common sense, right? I see it when it comes out of my faucet. But when I see the ocean, that deep blue of the ocean, or those deep greens and turquoises and all those colors, I don't stop to think, oh, it's reflecting the sky, or oh, it's reflecting the trees. I just see the water as that. And so it was really, really fascinating to have that. I have these, and I don't mean any disrespect by this. It's just a term that people use, that people throw at me a lot. I have these blonde moments sometimes where I'm just like, oh, right. And so, yeah, the water can contain can contain absolutely any color within the spectrum. And so pulling in that rainbow energy, pulling that rainbow light into that water and just bringing it down through the system, through the chakra system, exuding it out the layers of the aura. And there is something that I want to read for you guys. I thought that this was extremely beautiful. And this has to do with the red spectral moon energy. And so it says, red moon is your conscious self, who you are and who you are becoming. And this is the reason I want to read this is because the title of the reading yesterday was Awakened Awareness. And it starts out by saying, red moon is the cosmic seed of awakened awareness. Consume it like a fruit and let it blossom within you. You are on the quest of self-remembrance, of God seed. If you work with the energy of red moon with clear awareness and attention, an awakened state of remembrance will naturally blossom within you. Remembrance means having direct access to your expanded presence through an intrinsic perception of unity. And this is so perfect with this Pisces new moon, right? Because that's what Pisces energy is all about. Remembrance is your recognition of the larger pattern and your connection to it, often facilitated through dreams, art, music, colors, and creative pursuits. And that's what the new moon is all about, with this Neptune and Venus and the moon and the sun all conjunct together. With focused attention, meditate on red moon and you will receive help with self-remembrance. Red moon is also a beacon or transmitting station. As you open to self-remembrance, you become a beacon and receiver for cosmic consciousness. Ooh, they even threw the cosmic consciousness in there, you guys. Like, come on. This communication creates the gradual opening of the third eye, the eye within the monolith of self. As this eye opens and your communication becomes more refined, you will notice more signs, signals, and understanding coming to you. These are all for your growth and evolution, a feedback system from which you can gain insight about your journey. The number for red moon is 9, which symbolizes the recurrence of great cycles. An example of such recurrence is the periodic return of master teachers to help awaken human beings on earth. 9 is the number of Quetzalcoatl, Buddha, and Christ. Red moon is a symbol for great teachers and that Christ consciousness, especially with that, as someone pointed out, Pisces energy is the Christ consciousness energy. That Christ consciousness was coming up so heavy in that new moon video. For great teachers who have come to translate universal wisdom to humanity, to embody the awakened state of consciousness that is accessible to all. Such teachers serve as a connection to the divine and hold the promise of full self-mastery. Take off the veil of forgetfulness. Become the beacon of awakened awareness. As you open to self-remembrance, you will freely receive divine guidance. Be with others who support your fullest expression. And so if that isn't beautiful guidance for today, I don't know what is. And we are going to start out today, I think, with the Starseed Oracle. And we're going to pull some cards for the energy for today. Clear. Give us some guidance. Guidance from the Starseed Oracle for this beautiful new moon today. This beautiful new moon, March 13th, 2021. Okay, so we have I'm sorry coming out. Defenselessness. Writing past wrongs. Defenselessness, writing past wrongs, uprooting. So it's all about, that's that heavy healing energy that we have coming in, right? So it's really, with this energy coming through, it's with the uprooting, right? And you see the roots down here. This is us really getting to the core of what is at the root of our experiences. What is at the root of our pain and our suffering, right? They say that, Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional. And so we get the choice of whether or not we want to suffer. And that when we make the choice not to suffer, the best way to go about that is to really understand what is causing the pain and what is causing the suffering to begin with. We pull that up by the root, and then we are no longer visited, at least by that manifestation of it, right? That cause has been eliminated. And so it's really understanding that. And I'm feeling for some people, it's like situations from the past. This is situations, and this is twofold I'm feeling. It's not just what it says on this card. For some people, this is about forgiveness. And for other people, actually, either way, it's about forgiveness, right? It's either us forgiving somebody who hurt us, or us forgiving ourselves for hurting somebody else. And a lot of times when we're righting a past wrong, yes, we are doing it because it feels good to be able to show up and own up to our behavior and to mend those fences and to make things right. possibly for the other person as much as we maybe can, right? However, it's even more for us because it cleanses our souls. It's that purification, right, with that water energy. It cleanses our souls when we do so. It takes a weight off of us, right? And so it's all about that energy. What is weighing me down? What is weighing me down? What do I wish I could say? What do I wish I could do? And if I wish that, why am I not doing it, right? If there's something that needs to be spoken, if there's something that needs to be done to set the scales into balance again, we are being called to bring that into balance today. And to understand if somebody comes to us offering an apology or an amends, and the difference between an amends and an apology is saying I'm sorry. An amends is actually changing the behavior and coming forward with something constructive to make up for past behavior, right? It's not just saying, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that again. It's saying, I'm sorry, and then not doing that again. Or it's saying, I'm sorry, I know that this was an effect of this thing that I did. And so here is something to make that right. Here is something to make up for that energy, right? And so, but if somebody's coming to us with that today, be as receptive as possible and practice that art of forgiveness and compassion, right? Because that's going to be healing for both parties. And then we have your life as a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. And so that's that creative energy coming through, that artistic energy coming through, which is so heavy with this moon, right? But creative accountability is standing out to me, right? And so we don't necessarily always like to hear this, right? But when we start awakening, we start understanding that we create everything in our reality. And that can be, I think that that's a big reason why a lot of people get resistant to the law of attraction, which is one of the first laws of the universe that we learn about when we start awakening a lot of people. Because they're like, that means that if I create everything in my reality, that means I'm responsible for everything in my reality. And I don't want to take responsibility for that. I would rather play the victim, right? Because it's easier. And I don't mean this in a judgmental way. We've all done it. I've done it. I do it still sometimes. It's easier to look at ourselves as a victim sometimes than to really take ownership and be like, okay, I did create this. Okay, why, right? What do I need to uproot in order to create things that are more beneficial in my reality? What wound, what trauma within me created this? What shadow aspect of myself was creating this and drawing this into me? How can I take responsibility for my own vibration in order to attract and create experiences that are more beneficial for me, right? But it's like, there's also, when we get over that part of our ego that gets wounded by that and gets offended and wants to jump into victim consciousness and be like, no, that's not my fault, right? That's a big energy. These two cards together, this is a big energy of ownership coming through, taking ownership for our energy, taking accountability for our energy, right? Yeah. But once we get over that hump, then it's an incredible sense of empowerment, because we're like, okay, maybe before I knew any better, and for some of us, I mean, we still do this even when we do know better, right? But, for the sake of the example, right? I was creating things that I didn't want. But now that I know and understand and I can accept that, a whole realm of possibility is opened up to me, because I know that I can shift my creations anytime I want. And yes, there is work involved, and a lot of it is this uprooting. It's looking into those shadow aspects, looking at the stuff that we don't want to look at, looking at the stuff that's wanting to be healed, looking at our unconscious beliefs, especially, right? Looking at our vibration, taking responsibility for that, and for cultivating that in the way that we. Taking responsibility for cultivating that. One of the most powerful aspects of our manifestation is actually just simply our vibration. Like, yes, our thoughts and our words are powerful, and they do cast spells, right? They do create. However, if we're not a vibrational match to something, it cannot come into our reality. Point blank. I have struggled to accept this too, because I like to think of my vibration in a certain context and sometimes I'm like, ooh, but how did that get in here? And then I get all salty about it because I don't want to admit that there's something in my vibration that attracted that. However, it is a law of the universe. Like, there's no way to argue around it. And so I'm telling you guys this because we all do it, right? it's a never-ending journey. And so, yeah, it's our vibration, if we can work on that. And yes, our vibration is largely dictated by our thoughts and our words, right? What we're thinking about is shifting and altering our vibration. And that's why we want to really do our best to be thinking about the things that we want, to be thinking positively, to be practicing gratitude, right? To stay out of that victim consciousness, to stay out of the any of that like poor me, pity me type stuff, right? To stay out of those lower vibratory emotions, because that pulls our vibration back down. But we also have what, and I learned this watching Aaron Dowdy talks about this a lot, like the vibrational set point, right? So we all have a general set point where our vibration sits, excuse me, and then we sort of vary kind of like this up and down around that set point, depending on what we're thinking about, depending on who and what we're around, what it is that we're consuming, what it is that we're doing, right? But there's a certain set point. And so that vibrational set point really is what I feel as one of the major indicators of our manifestations. And so what can I do to raise that vibrational set point? And if you guys want to work on this, please reach out to me. I do a lot of things that can really help with that. But yeah, but it's about what are we consciously cultivating and manifesting right now? What are we wanting to bring into fruition? And can we take accountability for the things we are manifesting that are not what we would like to admit we created? And this is very relevant as we have this heavy Pisces energy going on too, because the lower vibration of Pisces energy is victim consciousness, right? Is overly sacrificing the self. These are some of those lower vibratory aspects that we may be looking at and paying attention to today, that may be drawn to our attention. And then we have empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So this is also guidance for today. We want to be careful about this. And once again, with that Pisces energy, which is the ultimate empath energy, right? Pisces energy tends to, it is a unifying energy, right? So we tend to unify, we tend to blend, to meld. And so we want to make sure that we're not picking up or absorbing anything that's not ours today. There's a lot of intense emotion. There's deep, intense healing going on, especially of the divine feminine aspect of our nature. And so like there's a lot out there that we don't want to be picking up. So make sure that you are working on being energetically sovereign today. Make sure that you know the difference between what's yours and what is somebody else's, and you really set those firm boundaries with your energy today, while at the same time taking advantage of that beautiful, nurturing, creative energy, right? That romantic energy, all the things. Then we have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. With baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. And the 7 star sisters, birthing creation's tapestry of life expression. Yes. Yes. And so the Pleiadian energy there coming in. Okay, so. Yeah, this is about getting that higher perspective. Getting that higher perspective. And this has been coming through in a lot of readings lately. And so I feel like there are situations right now that are CHALLENGINGS in some ways. We are being shown some of this, right? So this goes back to this energy too, right? Some of these energies where we are being TRIGGERED by people because it's revealing to us something really important that we need to see and understand so that we can move forward. Everything is being shown to us very clearly right now because like we are in terms of our evolution, we're just taking leaps and bounds right now, right? Like we are moving very, very quickly in if we're talking about like Muggle linear time and stuff like that, like the way that we are evolving. And so things are coming at us pretty intensely. And there's a lot of different situations in our lives that are bringing things up. And we may, because there's so much intense emotional energy going on right now, we may actually, what I'm feeling for quite a few people is that we may be getting sort of bogged down in the small stuff. Like, distracting ourselves by nitpicking, distracting ourselves by focusing on outward drama and manifestations, just because we don't want to deal with what's really coming up. It's like we're projecting, that energy of projecting sometimes, and that energy of just getting really caught up in the stories and the turmoil and the drama. And so we want to zoom out of all that stuff. We want to not take things personally. We want to see things from that larger spiritual context, which we are supported in doing with this Pisces new moon, right? We want to be able to do that, and we want to find common ground with people. Right? Like, what do we have in common? What do we both want? What are we both hoping to achieve here? Yeah, but just having that higher perspective today when it comes to everything. And then really our intuition is speaking to us deeply with this new moon as well, right? All of that Piscean energy, all of that deep, that beautiful, deep soul energy. And so pay attention to what your intuition's telling you. I feel like for some people, it's like you wanted something, right? And this is a big energy of manifestations coming through too. Like, check out the new moon reading, like I said, but there's a lot of energy coming in right now. And so, yeah, you may have asked for something. You may have put something on, I wanted to say your bucket list, but you may have put an intention out there, something that you're wanting to manifest. And so Spirit is saying, we're giving you hints and signs. Your guides, your own intuition, right? Source is giving you hints and signs of how to come into alignment with that thing. And so take that action. Some of those hints and signs, like, it's not going to be like, oh, you wanted this, well, do this and you'll have that. It's not going to be clear like that. It's just going to be like, you're going to feel drawn to call somebody up, or you're going to feel drawn to go to deviate from your normal route and take a different path. You're going to be called to do something, to take advantage of an opportunity, to do something outside of the realm of what you would normally do a lot of times, maybe, or not even necessarily. You're just feeling called to do something and you don't really know why. It's probably not going to at all feel like something that's going to lead to what you want, but you're feeling called to do it anyway. You're feeling drawn to do it. Something is telling you to take action on this thing, to take advantage of this thing, to do this thing, do that thing. Because that, whether you understand, you don't need to understand how it's going to work out or why it's important, but it is important. So don't wait for things to make sense, right? Our intuition is not about logic, right? Our intuition exists on a level beyond logic. And so don't get bogged down in the logical mind right now. Yes, and then with the birthing the birthing creations tapestry of life expression. That's more of that beautiful energy, right? That beautiful creative energy that, I'm thinking of the seven stars, the Pleiadian star system when I see the seven star sisters, right? And so I'm thinking about all of that beautiful, loving, highly spiritual energy coming in for us today. And now my ears are ringing. Yeah, so I feel like the Pleiadians are sending a lot of energy to assist us today as well, which is really beautiful. And they want us to understand that like we said, we are weaving the tapestry of our own lives, right? We are weaving so much more because it's so much bigger than just us, right? We're all weaving this together. So really coming together also with like-minded people to weave these tapestries together, to bring all of our unique talents and gifts, all of our different creative impulses together, right? And when we express those together, as it's sort of like I was talking about when I was talking about the new moon manifesting ceremony and how powerful it is when we all come together with our intentions. That's what this feels like. It's like some of the creations that we want to birth, we don't like it. When we move toward that with a group of like-minded people, that combination of all of that energy together really becomes intensely powerful. And so I think that that's what they want to sort of highlight there. And then with the crumbling, what are you clinging on to? They also want, this is still like that energy of releasing, right? That purification as we're moving with that universal water energy, that red moon energy, right? That red spectral moon. What are you clinging on to that's ready to be released? What can you allow the water to wash away today? And then your vibration is rising. You are the oracle with jump in. Andromedan energy adventure. Say yes to change, right? Say yes to change. Baby steps. Take the action follow your intuition before it makes sense. Jump right on into that. Utilize, right? With you are the oracle. As your vibration is rising, those messages and those nudges are feeling more like pokes, right? And those whispers are much more easier to hear and comprehend. And so just pay attention to that. Say yes to whatever adventure is waiting for you. I feel like a lot of people, there's energy wanting to come in and really take us some places. And so it's like, are you going to say yes when that opportunity, when that hand reaches out, are you going to take it? And they're saying today, take it. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Actually, let's close with some guidance from the archangels. Clear. Any closing guidance from, okay. We have Archangel Raphael coming right out. See with enlightened eyes, open to abundance. Right? Enlightened eyes, awakened awareness. And there is, like we said, so much abundance ready to come in. So be open to that. If you are struggling with that, if you are struggling with being receptive, if there's something that you're working to heal right now, whether it's your perception, whether it's a situation, whether it's a physical ailment, I'm really feeling from this Archangel Raphael card right now, like he wants you to call on him to assist you with that. Yeah. He wants you, if there's anything in your physical body that you're wanting to heal, that is going to assist, right, in your enlightenment. Because when we, on a physical level, right, energy, it's everything starts on an energy level. And eventually it condenses to the density of the physical being, right? And when it condenses to that density, sometimes it gets so loud, and that's what forces us to address it, right? Is because it comes into the physical body, it's really loud, it gets really annoying as a physical ailment. And so it's asking to be addressed, but a lot of times it's just like the noise of the thing is so distracting for us that it actually does the opposite of its intention. Its intention is to enlighten us about something. But instead it becomes a distraction, and it becomes the thing that we focus on. And as we focus on it, of course, we only make it louder. And it blocks out our ability to see everything else. And so Archangel Raphael is wanting to assist you with that, because that is going to assist. Once you can heal that, it's really going to assist in opening you up to a lot of things that you're wanting to manifest and create. But it's also like, it's seeing, in order to heal it, you're going to have to see what caused it, right? You're really going to have to look at that. And he wants to assist you with that. And that is going to bring another level of enlightenment, because that is a really loud lesson that really wants to be learned. It's a really loud message that wants to come through, and it's speaking to you through your physical body. So the seeing with enlightened eyes is also about seeing and understanding what it is that this physical ailment is trying to teach you, is trying to show you. What is the lesson? What is the opportunity to grow more spiritually? And also to understand that everything there is nothing that cannot be healed. So he's coming through with that message too. It's just, are we willing to do the work that's necessary to heal the thing? And if we are, he's here. Also, please reach out to me. A lot of the different modalities that I offer, the Theta healing, the Belvaspata, can really work with these energies and assisting in that. Yeah, and there's just a lot of, we'll take them. So we have Archangel Butjalil coming through. Be interdependent, expand your horizons. And then we also have Archangel Premenelik. I've never heard of a lot of these. Premenelik. Be conscientious. Cooperate with others for the highest good. So this is a lot of that co-creation, cooperation energy, right? With the interdependency, right? Which is when codependency is when we are dependent upon another person for our happiness. And their happiness translates into our happiness, right? When we totally lose ourselves in that lower vibration of that Piscean energy, where we completely lose ourselves in another to the point where we don't even know who we are anymore, right? Interdependence is when we're both independent, but we can come together and become even stronger through our cooperative effort with each other, right? And so there's that difference there. So it's understanding that difference, but it's also like, really we're being asked, especially with this find common ground, the zoom out, right? The perspective thing. We're learning, that's another big part of this lesson, right? Is we're learning how to cooperate with others, how to unify our viewpoints, how to come together and find that common ground so that we can co-create together. Because this new earth is going to be a product of co-creation. Not just us co-creating with spirit, but us co-creating with the spirit in each other, with spirit's expression through each other. And so us really learning and training for that, I think a lot of us are right now. And so just remember that. And when our focus is always on the highest good, that helps to harmonize our energies. And that comes through with Archangel Mariel as well. Manifest for the highest good. Work with pure love. Right? Always set your intentions for the highest good of all involved. And when we do that, we can watch, we can feel the power of that energy is palpable. And then Archangel Durenka. Hone your psychic abilities, see through illusion. Right? And this Neptune energy can sometimes be an energy of illusion. So we really want to work on when those illusions are presented to us, they're presented to us as opportunities for us to really get in touch with our own intuition in order to see clearly, in order to navigate those, in order to find the truth that is most appropriate for us at this time. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you so very, very much. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, hit that like button. It really does help. Comment down below. Let me know how this new moon is feeling for you. I will link the new moon video in the description box below. And if you go to the new moon video, you can see the links for the new moon manifesting ceremony. It's going to be tonight at 6:30 p.m. EST. Hope to see you there if you would like to join. But definitely do something for this new moon because it is really powerful and really potent energy. Oh, and I love, as I was shuffling, Archangel Rokiel came out. Enter higher planetary service. Be a blazing light. All right? A blazing light. I love that. Yeah. So do something with this energy because it is big, it is beautiful, and it is profound. My email is down below with the list of the different services that I offer. Please reach out to me if you are interested. I mentioned a couple of them. They can be really, really helpful with everything, really. There's nothing that they can't address. And let's see. Yes, there are links down below to donate as well. Have a wonderful new moon. Love you all.